All right, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is when you hear this message, I pray that you're poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. Excuse me. So, a lot of people have a hard time completing what they start. A lot of folks find themselves constantly chasing their tail, so to speak. It's like I start this idea and I'm on it for a day, I'm on it for a week, and then something happens, and the next thing I know, I've been off track for weeks, again, for months, right? And the reason why a lot of folks cannot stay focused on a project or a task from beginning to end is because you're holding a grudge. It's because you're holding a grudge. And so you wonder, well, how does holding a grudge impact my ability to follow through and execute? I'm going to explain to you why. When you think of holding a grudge, it's like this person wronged me and I can't forgive her or him. Okay? And so anytime I think of this person, then I am angry and I am frustrated. And more importantly, I'm thinking negative thoughts. This whole script starts to play in my mind about maybe what they did, what they didn't do, maybe what I want to do to them, et cetera, et cetera. And so, you start to play out like a whole drama in your mind just by being triggered by this person. So the real problem isn't that you're holding a grudge against this person or that person. The real problem is that your way of thinking has now been conditioned, and you become like what they say, the Pavlovian dog, right? Or you're like, how when a dog sees the mailman and they just start barking uncontrollably, or when a dog walks by a fence and these two dogs, every time they just bark, rah, 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 right? You conditioned yourself. That's the real problem, is that you have started conditioning a certain kind of response to this stimulus. So how does this play into your ability to plan? Well, what it means is that as you condition your mind to go off on this deep emotional tangent, it means that your mind thinks it's okay to just get caught up in other kinds of emotional tangents. And so you're giving your mind not only permission, but you're programming your mind to be distracted. That's the reason why having the habit of holding grudges disallows you from executing your plans, manifesting your true vision. Okay? And so this message, interestingly, emerged this morning in the process of carrying out my morning rituals. And it was the verse that that delivered the message. It tells of a story. And I won't tell the whole story because it's pretty long, but essentially what happens is that one person is angry at the other, and they go into holding a grudge against this other person. And then they're in the process of faking, they're smiling in the person's face, but in their heart, they're holding all this resentment. Then an opportunity presents itself, and it looks like, oh, I've got him. I can do this. That would, allow me to get even with this person. And so the opportunity presents itself. They take this opportunity, and it works for a week, for a month, for a year, for 3 years. But unbeknownst to the person who was seeking revenge, the plot had been revealed. It's just that the in this instance, it was a king. The king knew what the plot was. And so he was just cooking it, because the longer that this person was plotting against the king, that was going to add up to, that was going to add weight to the consequence, basically. So at the end of the story, the king reveals that he has known all this time, which then, left no room for, anything but some real severe consequences. But the story exemplifies exactly this principle that I'm describing to you. When you have it in the back of your mind that you want to get revenge, you are holding a grudge. It's like misting yourself with gasoline. Right? In the summertime, people get a little water and they'll spray themselves. When you hold a grudge against someone, it's like you just are misting yourself with gasoline, a little light layer of gasoline. And then any kind of trigger will send you into flames. But the thing that you really want to ignite isn't the stimulus. So other people's anger will trigger you, and you'll be then off on a tangent with other people about something that they're mad about. Something that has nothing to do with, the real core issue that was bothering you in the first place, right? You understand what I'm saying? You can be, what they say, triggered, but you're providing the fuel for the trigger by holding a grudge. And most importantly, that trigger is what prevents you from being able to stay focused on what you're really trying to accomplish at the end of the day. So I want to urge you to start practicing letting go. Start practicing forgiveness. Start practicing acceptance. Start practicing tolerance, right? It won't be enough just to try to focus on what you want to accomplish. You also have to relinquish that thing that's obstructing you. It's like this Greek philosopher says, before you go to heal someone, make sure they're willing to give up the thing that's making them sick. Holding the grudge is what's making you sick. So if you want to heal your life, you got to let go of the grudge. You got to let go of the grudge. You got to relinquish the burden. And this is a really pivotal lesson that I have learned from Obatala. Obatala has the power to create. And so through Obatala, we tap into our capacity for making things happen, right? But Obatala is required by Olodumare and advised by Ifa to never use his creative power to curse, never to use his creative power to undo, right? And so in another verse of Ifa, he tells us how Obatala had genuinely been wronged multiple times. And he was so angry as a result of being wronged, he put a curse on the ones who wronged him. And the curse worked. But every time he cursed his adversary's life became, worse and worse and worse, more wretched and horrible. But the more wretched their lives became, the more capable they were of doing horrible things. And they did. They did those horrible things to Obatala, right? So he empowers them and made them wretched and crazy and disgusting. And then that put them into a better position to then do horrible things to Obatala in Obatala's realm. This continued until he went back to consult Ifa. Ifa says, hey, you were told not to curse. Now you got to turn around and you got to bless. All the ones that you cursed, you got to bless them. So Obatala turned around and he started to bless. He started to bless. He started to bless. He cleaned them up. He not only did he bless, he summons the ones who had wronged him. He cleaned them up and he blessed them and sent them back where they came from in pristine condition. And when they got back to their source, restored and renewed, they didn't cause any more havoc. They didn't do any more damage, which then made Obatala's environment peaceful and allowed him and his family and his community to flourish without the scourge of these folks who had been doing wrong. So letting go of the grudge is one thing. And then also turning around and making sure that blessing the ones that you feel or know have wronged you is going to even elevate you more. It's going to insulate you even more against negativity and allow you to focus. You're not going to be distracted. You're not going to be triggered by anything or by fewer things. And that's going to allow you to focus for longer and longer periods of time. So the deeper your ability to give up grudges, the more regularly you can practice blessing those who have wronged you, the more you're going to be able to focus on the thing that you truly want to do. Because chances are what you truly want to accomplish doesn't involve harming other people, doesn't involve being an obstruction to other people's lives in any way, shape, or form. Probably the thing that you truly want to accomplish is only organized around or focused upon creating some kind of a benefit in your life and in the lives of others. So let that be your goal and transform yourself. Do whatever is necessary. Be whatever you need to be in order to let go of your grudges and even bless those who you feel have wronged you. This is a lesson for the leaders, y'all. This is not for the small timers. This is not for the faint at heart. This is not for the people who are looking for the quick fix. This is for the folks who really want to have a long-lasting positive influence on the world. If you're one of those people, then I want you to find out how Obafemi Origunwa and the Orisha Lifestyle Academy can help you take your practice and your life to the next level. Visit me at obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com. Let's start working together to help you live the medicine that will heal your life and heal the lives of those who you are destined to serve. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Odabo.